In the world of football, there are players remembered for their innate talent, and there are those remembered for their trophies. But there are also those whose names have transcended the boundaries of the pitch to become global cultural icons. Today, Football Legend Stories invites you to travel back in time to the nostalgic 90s in England. We won't just talk about a right winger with pinpoint crosses or free kicks that bent the laws of physics. We will talk about a journey full of blood and tears, from a skinny boy in Leytonstone who became a villain turned on by an entire nation, only to rise again proudly like a king. He is a fashion icon, a devoted husband, a model father, and above all, a heart that loves football with purity. Welcome to the story of the charming wanderer, the eternal owner of the number 7 shirt, David Beckham. The story begins in a small corner of London, where Drizzle often visits Leytonstone. On May 2, 1975, a boy cried out his first breath, carrying the simple expectations of an ordinary working-class family. David Robert Joseph Beckham. That name at the time did not carry the weight of millions of pounds or global advertising contracts. It was simply the name of the son of a kitchen fitter and a hairdresser. If destiny is a pre-written script, perhaps God implanted the love for football in David right from the cradle. His parents, fanatical Manchester United supporters, injected the love for Manchester's red into the child's blood. Even though they lived in London, the long journeys from the south to the north to reach Old Trafford were not just trips to watch football. They were pilgrimages to the Holy Land in young David's mind. David did not possess the innate robust physique of a gladiator. He had a scholarly look, blonde hair, and a gentle smile, but hidden behind that appearance was Jewish blood from his grandfather, a heritage David always took pride in, and an iron will forged through ceaseless training sessions. When other children went home, David stayed at Ridgeway Park, kicking the ball to the same spot hundreds, thousands of times. He joined the Tottenham Hotspur School of Excellence, then played for Brimsdown Rovers, where he first tasted recognition with the U15 Player of the Year award in 1990. But his heart pointed to only one place, Manchester. On July 8, 1991, the dream became reality. David put pen to paper on a trainee contract with Manchester United. He did not arrive alone. Fate arranged for him to be a piece of the legendary class of '92. A group of young men carrying the desire to conquer the world: Nicky Butt, Paul Scholes, Ryan Giggs, and the Neville brothers. They grew up together, won together, and lifted the FA Youth Cup in 1992 together as a declaration of war to the rest of England. Under the molding hands of the strict father figure Sir Alex Ferguson, David matured remarkably, but the road to glory is never paved with roses. In the 1994-1995 season, he was pushed to Preston North End on loan to gain experience. For many young players, this could be the end, a rejection, but for David, it was an opportunity. There, he scored a goal directly from a corner kick, an early sign that his right foot did not obey normal laws of physics. He returned to United, made his Premier League debut, and quickly asserted himself, but the moment that turned the name, David, into the brand, Beckham, happened on August 17, 1996. In a match against Wimbledon. Imagine that moment. David receives the ball at the halfway line. Instead of passing, instead of dribbling, he sees goalkeeper Neil Sullivan off his line. A split-second decision. The right leg swings up, painting a perfect rainbow across the sky of Selhurst Park. The ball flies over half the length of the pitch, over the goalkeeper's reach, and drops into the net amidst the astonishment of tens of thousands. He spreads his arms in celebration. A smile as radiant as the morning sun. The football world was shaken. A superstar was born. After the King, Eric Cantona retired, the legendary number 7 shirt at Old Trafford needed a new owner. None other than that young man with the romantic blonde hair bravely put on the weight of history. And he did not let that shirt down. In the 1998-1999 season, he and Manchester United touched the impossible, the historic treble, in that magical Champions League final at Camp Nou against Bayern Munich. When all hope seemed extinguished, it was Beckham's 2 pinpoint corners in the fateful injury time that threw open the gates of heaven for the Red Devils. But a hero's life always needs tragedy to become great. For Beckham, that tragedy was named World Cup 1998. It was a sultry summer evening in France. In a tense match against arch-rivals Argentina, a moment of youthful rashness. A naive leg flick in retaliation against Diego Simeone right in front of the referee. Red card. David bowed his head and left the field, leaving his teammates to fight in despair. When England failed in the penalty shootout, all the blame was poured onto the 23-year-old's head. From a hero, he became the enemy of the entire nation. Effigies of him were hanged outside pubs. Curses and boos rang out in every stadium he stepped into. The press tore him apart. Fans turned their backs. David was alone in the eye of the storm. It was a time when, without nerves of steel, he could have collapsed and disappeared forever from the football map. But David did not collapse. He chose the sweetest revenge, shining on the pitch. He played silently, turning the boos into motivation. Redemption came in 2001. At the very theater of dreams, England was trailing Greece and facing the risk of missing the 2002 World Cup. Time was ticking down to the final seconds. A free kick. David Beckham, now the captain, stood over the ball. The whole of England held its breath. He began his run up. His body leaned at a characteristic angle. His left arm raised for balance. Boom! The ball tore through the wind, curving a magnificent line into the top corner. Old Trafford erupted. David ran like a madman towards the corner flag, arms wide open. It wasn't just the goal that sent England to the World Cup, it was the goal that washed away all sins, turning him from a national villain back into a national hero. Off the pitch, David's life was as dazzling as a Hollywood movie. His marriage to Victoria Adams, the stylish posh spice, made them the most powerful couple in the world. Posh and Becks became symbols of fashion, wealth, and fame, but this very aura created a crack in the relationship between him and his mentor, Sir Alex Ferguson. Sir Alex, a classic Scotsman, did not like the noise surrounding his favorite student. The conflict smoldered and exploded on February 15, 2003, after a loss to Arsenal. In the stifling dressing room, a boot kicked by Sir Alex accidentally hit Beckham above the eye, leaving a cut. The cut on the flesh would heal, but the tear in the father-son relationship could not be mended. David understood that his time at home in Old Trafford was up. In the summer of 2003, he left Manchester United for Real Madrid for €35 million, carrying with him 6 Premier League titles and the bleeding heart of a man forced to leave the greatest love of his life. In Madrid, he was no longer number 7. He chose number 23, the number of basketball legend Michael Jordan. As an affirmation of his desire to reach a global level, he stood in the ranks of the Galacticos, the galaxy of stars with Zidane, Ronaldo, Figo, Raul. Despite being suspected of being a commercial signing, David proved the opposite with his diligence. He ran more than anyone, tackled like a defender, and crossed like an artist. In his final season in Spain, his efforts were rewarded with the precious La Liga title. In 2007, David once again shocked the world when he decided to leave top-flight Europe to go to the US to play for LA Galaxy. Many said he went to retire, to chase money, but looking back, it was a great strategic move. Beckham's presence completely changed the face of Major League Soccer, MLS, transforming it from an obscure league into an attractive destination. But the love for top-level football never died in him. To maintain fitness and keep his World Cup hopes alive, he twice accepted loan spells at AC Milan in 2009 and 2010. In the fashion capital of Milan, he still demonstrated the class of a top midfielder. Regrettably, a serious Achilles tendon injury robbed him of the chance to attend the 2010 World Cup, the tournament where he yearned to contribute one last time for the Three Lions. The Wanderer's journey stopped in magnificent Paris. In 2013, he joined Paris Saint-Germain, PSG, on a short-term 5-month contract. Here, David did something that made the whole world tip their hat. He donated his entire salary to a children's charity. A beautiful act, closing a beautiful career. On May 18, 2013, the Parc des Princes was filled with emotion. In the 81st minute, the electronic board showed number 32. David Beckham left the field. Tears streamed down his face. Teammates ran to hug him. The audience stood up and applauded ceaselessly. In those tears, people saw the boy David at Ridgeway Park, saw the young man with the shot from the halfway line, saw the brave captain, and the elegant gentleman of the present. He retired with the League One title, becoming the first English player to win championships in 4 different countries: England, Spain, USA, France. When the final whistle of his career sounded, what did David Beckham leave behind? The statistics: 115 caps for England, a record for an outfield player at the time. 17 goals for the national team. He is the only Englishman to score in 3 consecutive World Cups. He has a massive trophy collection from the Premier League, La Liga to MLS and League One. But his legacy is greater than numbers. He changed the concept of a football player. He proved that a player could be both a warrior on the pitch and a fashion icon. A successful businessman, and a family man. People remember him for his centimeter-perfect long passes, crosses with a magical curl that science finds hard to explain, and especially the trademark, leaning, free kick stance. He is the player Man Utd fans love the most. Not just for his handsome looks, but for his gallant, romantic, yet passionate style of play. And above all, he is a national dad, an admirable husband, leaving behind the glory of the pitch. The image of David Beckham carrying his daughter Harper, or sitting in the stands watching his sons, is the most beautiful image of a man's maturity. From the boy, lured by his parents to Old Trafford, to the global superstar with immense influence on the world, David Beckham's story is a powerful testament to the fact talent can take you to the top, but it is character and heart that keep you in the hearts of fans forever. That is a legend. That is David Beckham. Talent may let you touch the glory, but character is what helps you stand firm amidst the storms. David Beckham has left professional football, but the legacy he left behind has never faded. It is not just the titles at Manchester United, Real Madrid, LA Galaxy, or PSG. Beck's greatest legacy is the lesson of professionalism, loyalty, and the iron will to overcome adversity. He proved to the world, behind the appearance of an entertainment superstar are the hard-working legs of a laborer and the hot heart of a warrior. A legend is defined not only by how they play but by how they live and inspire. And David Beckham, he is exactly that kind of legend. If the story of this talented David has touched your emotions, don't hesitate to hit the like and share button on this video to spread the football inspiration to more people. Which moment in David Beckham's career impressed you the most? The goal from the halfway line against Wimbledon or the divine free kick sending England to the 2002 World Cup? Leave a comment below to let us know. Don't forget to click subscribe and turn on the notification bell for football legend stories. We will be back with the next legendary stories on your schedule, e.g. every Saturday night. Thank you for joining us. Goodbye and see you again.